everyone, I'm Tiara, management student from University of Technology Indonesia. So this is a video about tax. So we'll learn about Penagihan Pajak or tax collection. So let's learn with me. So first, we'll learn about the definition. Tax collection refers to a series of actions undertaken by the tax authority to recover tax debt from taxpayers who fail to fulfill their tax obligation by the prescribed due date. This action aims to safeguard state revenue and ensure legal certainty in the implementation of the tax system. And legal basis of the tax collection is in the governed by law number 19 of 2020 in Indonesia concerning tax collection with a distress warrant, as well as the law on general provision and tax procedure or KUP law. This regulation provides the Directorate General of Tax with legal authority to enforce tax collection measures. Next is occurrence of tax debt. A tax debt arises as a result of the issue of a tax assessment letter or tax collection letter, such as underpayment tax assessment letter or SKPKB, additional underpayment tax assessment letter or SKPKBT, or tax collection letter atau STP, as well as decision resulting from objection or appeal process. So, next is time of tax collection. Tax collection is carried out when the taxpayer fails to pay outstanding tax liability by the due date. If the taxpayer does not submit a request for installment payment, or if such a request is rejected, the tax authority is entitled to initiate tax collection procedure. Next, what is the stage of tax collection? Tax collection is a conduct in a gradual and structured manner, beginning with the issuance of a warning letter, followed by distress warrant, seizure of the taxpayer asset, and finally the auction of seized asset. These stages are intended to provide taxpayers with opportunity to settle their tax liability voluntarily. Next is warning letter. Warning letter is an initial administrative notice issued to taxpayers who fail to settle their tax debt after the payment due date. These letters serve as a formal reminder for taxpayers to promptly fulfill their tax obligation. And the distress warrant. A distress warrant is an issue when a taxpayer does not settle the tax debt after receiving a warning letter. This warrant has a legal force equivalent to a court decision, allowing tax authority to proceed with compulsory tax collection action. And next, seizure of asset. Asset seizure is conducted by a tax bailiff when the taxpayer continues to neglect the payment of tax debt after the issuance of a distress warrant. The seized asset may include movable or immovable property that has economic value and can be used to settle the tax debt. And next is auction of seized asset. If the tax debt remains unpaid, the seized asset will be sold through public auction conducted by the State Auction Office. The proceeds from the auction are used to settle the tax debt and collection costs, and any excess funds are returned to the taxpayer. Next material is obligation of taxpayer. During the tax collection process, taxpayers are obligated to cooperate with the tax bailiff by allowing access to business premises or residence and providing accurate information. Taxpayers are also prohibited from transferring, pledging, or releasing seized assets. Next is right of taxpayer in tax collection. Taxpayers are entitled to legal protection during tax collection procedure, including the right to request identification from the tax bailiff, receive copies of the distress warrant and seizure report, and settle tax debt before the auction is conducted, which is result in the cancellation of auction. Next is statute of limitation on tax collection. The government right to collect tax debt expires after a period of 5 years. However, this statute of limitation may be suspended if a distress warrant is issued, the taxpayer acknowledges the tax debt, a new tax assessment letter is issued, or criminal tax investigation is conducted. So that's all about tax collection, and thank you for your learning with me, and see you in the next video.